ready to face. Then, as if Seth can read his mind, his brother begins flipping on all the goddamn lights, opening every window shade in the living room. The May morning is too bright and too wrong. Luke's still angry at the sun for coming up, for existing when Sal doesn't. A sharp intake of breath. Seth's shaking his head at the current state of Luke's home. It's a shithole. Luke knows this. Luke also knows Sal would have his head on a plate for keeping her beloved farmhouse in such a state of disarray. Seth pauses in the living room to stare at the unmade couch. Luke hasn't slept in his bedroom since Sal's been gone. It's been 9 months, and he still can't bear to erase her scent. As it stands now, Sal's spirit hangs so heavily around the house, her existence echoes. Hell, Luke can practically feel her in the air, can practically hear Sal's happy hum, can see her bare feet kicked up on the couch, in the kitchen, putting groceries away, washing dishes. Sal smiling at him as she makes her inky black pots of coffee. Mundane. Luke would kill for mundane. Seth enters the kitchen. Luke follows, hanging back against the sink, arms out to prop him up. He watches as Seth checks the fridge. Empty. There's unwashed dishes in the sink, a cemetery of whiskey bottles, a TV dinner, a full ashtray. Shit. A sound of disgust flares in Seth's throat. Really? He swipes a pack of Camels from the countertop. Seth's fierce frown deepens as he crumples the smokes in his fist. You're doing this again? Grimacing, Luke runs a hand through his hair, cups the back of his neck, decides it's probably not a good time to tell Seth he has 2 more packs stashed away in his workshop. Look, you can spare me the lecture. You promised Don't. Luke cuts Seth off with a stop right there hand, his voice deadly serious. He closes his eyes. Her name has always been his undoing, his crutch, even when she was alive. He can't have that. Not today. He hasn't cried in months, and he ain't looking to start now. Luke's Adam's apple bobs tightly, and it's all he can do not to choke on the brick in his throat, to force the next words from his mouth. Don't. Do not bring her up. A muscle jumps in Seth's jaw as he stares down his brother. Then, his blue eyes shining, he looks away to compose himself. The emotion has them both in a stranglehold. Seeing his own pain reflected in Seth's eyes, Luke's reminded how much his brother loved Sal. She meant the world to Seth. They were best friends, confidants. Together, the 2 of them drove Luke fucking nuts. The silence trails on long, uncomfortable, until Seth clears his throat, deciding to fill the silence with the obvious. You heard we're leaving. Today. Luke heard all right. Mort, his ex-manager, called last night. Jace, his best friend and ex-bandmate, this morning, trying to talk him into getting the brothers Kincaid back into the music business. A revival of sorts, they called it. A way to get his mind off the last year. Luke nods. Yeah, I heard. It hits him then. Sudden and strangling. The fear of losing someone else, his brother, his best friend, has his chest in a vice. You ain't flying, are you? The question rolls off his lips, cool, collected, when really all Luke wants to do is grab Seth by the collar and keep him home. Safe. No. Seth says in a low voice like he knows where Luke's mind has gone. Mort ain't that dumb. We got a big-ass bus.